The Master Electrician Exam covers a wide range of electrical topics. These topics include the National Electrical Code, also known as NFPA 70, electrical theory and calculations, wiring methods and materials, electrical equipment, control systems, and code and safety requirements. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, commonly known as OSHA, is not explicitly mentioned in the exam content. However, general safety principles and compliance with OSHA regulations may be addressed indirectly. NFPA 70, the National Electrical Code, is a mandatory topic in the exam. It covers electrical safety requirements for electrical installations, including fire alarms. Feedback from recent exam takers suggests that OSHA was not a significant focus in the exam. However, questions related to NFPA 70 were present and considered essential. To prepare effectively, it is recommended that you study the National Electrical Code, NFPA 70, thoroughly. Review electrical theory and calculations. Familiarize yourself with wiring methods, materials, and electrical equipment. Understand control systems and safety codes. Consider taking a preparatory course that covers the exam content in depth. Allow ample time for preparation and study. Practice solving exam-style problems. Pay attention to the time constraints during the exam. Use all available resources, such as study guides and online forums. Now let's delve deeper into the specific areas you should focus on for the Master Electrician Exam. Firstly, thoroughly understand the National Electrical Code, NFPA 70. This is absolutely crucial. It is the foundation upon which much of the exam is built. You need to know how to navigate the codebook efficiently and be able to apply its rules to various scenarios. This involves understanding the definitions, tables, and articles within the NEC. Secondly, review electrical theory and calculations. Expect questions that test your understanding of Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's laws, series and parallel circuits, power calculations, and voltage drop calculations. Being comfortable with these fundamental concepts is essential for solving many of the exam problems. Thirdly, familiarize yourself with wiring methods, materials, and electrical equipment. This includes understanding the different types of conductors, cables, raceways, and boxes, as well as their proper applications. You should also be knowledgeable about various electrical equipment such as transformers, motors, generators, and their associated control devices. Fourthly, understand control systems and safety codes. Control systems are used to automate and control various electrical processes. You should have a basic understanding of control circuits, relays, timers, and programmable logic controllers. Additionally, you should be familiar with relevant safety codes and regulations, including those related to grounding, bonding, overcurrent protection, and personnel safety. Consider taking a preparatory course that covers the exam content in depth. A good preparatory course will provide you with a structured learning environment, expert instruction, and practice exams that simulate the actual exam experience. It can also help you identify your weaknesses and focus your studies on the areas where you need the most improvement. Allow ample time for preparation and study. Do not cram for the exam at the last minute. Give yourself plenty of time to review the material and practice solving problems. A good rule of thumb is to start studying several months in advance and dedicate a few hours each week to exam preparation. Practice solving exam-style problems. The best way to prepare for the exam is to practice solving as many exam-style problems as possible. This will help you become familiar with the types of questions that are asked and the level of difficulty you can expect. It will also help you improve your problem-solving skills and your ability to work quickly and accurately. Pay attention to the time constraints during the exam. The Master Electrician Exam is a timed exam, so it is important to manage your time effectively. Before you start the exam, take a few minutes to review the instructions and familiarize yourself with the format of the exam. As you work through the exam, keep an eye on the clock and pace yourself accordingly. Do not spend too much time on any one question. If you are unsure of the answer, move on to the next question and come back to it later if you have time. Use all available resources, such as study guides and online forums. There are many resources available to help you prepare for the Master Electrician Exam. These resources include study guides, textbooks, online forums, and practice exams. Take advantage of these resources to supplement your studies and get additional practice. Remember to focus on understanding the underlying principles and concepts rather than simply memorizing facts and figures. This will help you apply your knowledge to different situations and solve complex problems. In addition to the National Electrical Code, electrical theory, wiring methods, and control systems, there are other important topics that you should be familiar with for the Master Electrician Exam. These topics include grounding and bonding, overcurrent protection, motor controls, and hazardous locations. Grounding and bonding are essential for electrical safety. Grounding provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to prevent electric shock and equipment damage. Bonding is the process of connecting all metal parts of an electrical system together to ensure that they are at the same electrical potential. You should understand the different types of grounding and bonding systems and the requirements for their installation. Overcurrent protection is used to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. Overcurrent protection devices, such as fuses and circuit breakers, are designed to interrupt the flow of current when it exceeds a certain level. You should understand the different types of overcurrent protection devices and their applications. Motor controls are used to start, stop, and control the speed and direction of electric motors. Motor controls can be simple manual starters or sophisticated electronic drives. You should have a basic understanding of motor control circuits and the different types of motor starters and controllers. Hazardous locations are areas where there is a risk of fire or explosion due to the presence of flammable gases, vapors, or dusts. Electrical equipment installed in hazardous locations must be specially designed and approved for use in such environments. You should be familiar with the different classes and divisions of hazardous locations and the requirements for installing electrical equipment in these areas. Furthermore, let's discuss some specific strategies for tackling different types of exam questions. For calculation-based questions, always start by identifying the known and unknown variables. Write down the relevant formulas and make sure you are using the correct units. Double-check your calculations and pay attention to significant figures. For code-related questions, carefully read the question and identify the relevant code sections. Use the index and table of contents to quickly locate the applicable code articles. Pay attention to the wording of the code requirements and look for any exceptions or special conditions that may apply. For scenario-based questions, carefully analyze the given situation and identify the key factors. Consider all possible solutions and weigh the pros and cons of each. Choose the answer that is most consistent with the code requirements and best addresses the safety concerns. As you study, try to relate the concepts you are learning to real-world applications. This will help you better understand the material and remember it more easily. For example, when studying grounding and bonding, think about how these principles are applied in your own home or workplace. When studying motor controls, try to identify the different types of motor starters and controllers that are used in various industrial applications. Also, make sure to stay up to date with the latest changes to the National Electrical Code. The NEC is revised every 3 years, so it is important to use the most current edition when preparing for the exam. You can find information about the latest code changes on the NFPA website. Remember to take breaks during your study sessions. It is important to avoid burnout and to give your brain time to rest and process the information you are learning. Take a few minutes to walk around, stretch, or do something else that you enjoy. Finally, believe in yourself and your ability to pass the exam. A positive attitude can go a long way in helping you succeed. Visualize yourself passing the exam and focus on your strengths. With hard work, dedication, and a solid understanding of the material, you can achieve your goal of becoming a master electrician. And remember, even if you don't pass the exam on your first try, don't give up. Learn from your mistakes and try again. Many successful electricians have had to take the exam multiple times before passing. The key is to stay persistent and keep learning. In addition to the topics already mentioned, It's also beneficial to have a working knowledge of blueprint reading, estimating, and project management. While these areas may not be explicitly tested on the exam, they are important skills for a master electrician to possess. Blueprint reading involves interpreting electrical drawings and specifications to understand the layout and requirements of an electrical installation. Estimating involves calculating the cost of materials and labor for an electrical project. Project management involves planning, organizing, and coordinating the activities of an electrical project to ensure that it is completed on time and within budget. Understanding these areas can give you a more holistic view of the electrical industry and enhance your ability to perform your job effectively. Furthermore, consider joining a professional organization such as the International Association of Electrical Inspectors or the Independent Electrical Contractors. These organizations offer educational resources, networking opportunities, and advocacy for the electrical industry. They can also help you stay up to date with the latest codes, standards, and technologies. Another important aspect of exam preparation is to familiarize yourself with the exam format and the types of questions that are asked. The Master Electrician Exam typically consists of multiple choice questions, but it may also include other types of questions, such as fill in the blank, true/false, and matching. Be sure to read the instructions carefully before you start the exam and understand the time limits for each section. It's also a good idea to take practice exams under simulated exam conditions to get a feel for the pacing and difficulty of the actual exam. When taking practice exams, try to identify your weaknesses and focus your studies on those areas. Analyze your mistakes and understand why you got the answers wrong. This will help you learn from your mistakes and avoid making them on the actual exam. Remember that the Master Electrician Exam is designed to test your knowledge and skills as an electrician. It is not meant to be a trick exam. The questions are designed to assess your understanding of the code, your ability to apply it to real-world situations, and your judgment in making safe and effective electrical installations. Therefore, the best way to prepare for the exam is to study hard, practice solving problems, and develop a strong foundation in electrical theory and practice. In conclusion, preparing for the Master Electrician Exam requires a comprehensive approach that includes studying the National Electrical Code, reviewing electrical theory and calculations, familiarizing yourself with wiring methods and materials, understanding control systems and safety codes, taking a preparatory course, allowing ample time for preparation and study, practicing solving exam-style problems, paying attention to the time constraints during the exam, and using all available resources. By following these recommendations, you can increase your chances of success and achieve your goal of becoming a master electrician. Remember to stay focused, stay positive, and never give up on your dreams. With hard work and dedication, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Good luck on your exam.